Hey folks, just a quick content warning for you. This episode of The OC features a sexual assault and attempted rape. We do not play any audio from this portion of the show or go into a lot of detail about the event itself, but we do talk about it. And I just wanted to let y'all know that if that's something that you don't really want to hear about, feel free to skip this episode. Wouldn't blame you at all. So thanks. Those of you sticking around, enjoy the show.
What you say?
I told you that it's time to start the show.
That you only meant well.
Yeah, the show's gonna do well.
Of course you did. What you say?
I said let's go.
That it's all for the best.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be like the best podcast.
What you say?
God, do I have to keep repeating myself?
Just what do we need? You decided this.
Hold up, I
What
thought we
you
both
say?
decided to do this.
What did she say?
I said let's start the show.
Hey everyone, welcome to What You Say, an OC podcast. My name is Lise Daly,
And I am Scott Daly.
and together
We're
made
the
a baby.
Dailies. What? You can't just change the intro.
But I thought it was funny.
We haven't, I guess we did make the baby. The baby's not here though.
No, but together, we're the dailies, but there's more dailies now.
There
so
are.
I just said what we did.
There are many dailies.
Now, yes,
Ugh. Imagine if we were having more than one.
I
would
don't
lose
want
my
one.
mind.
Nope.
I would lose
One
my
and done.
mind. Well, no, that's not true. I just meant like twins.
One and done.
No, Disagree.
We haven't decided, Scott.
We've-
We're gonna see how one goes.
We've decided.
We're gonna see how it goes.
This is the podcast where each and every week, my wife, Elise, and I argue about children and go through the hit 2000s teen drama, The OC, episode by episode. This week on the show, we are covering Season 2, Episode 21, titled The Return of the Nana.
But before we get into that, Scott, it's time for everyone's favorite section.
What's that?
The Rosies and Thornies.
Before we get into the Rosies and Thornies,
Yes.
I want my official rose is not this, but I want to extend a rose to all of our listeners who were so nice last week. They were so nice to us about our big news. They congratulated us and were very excited
thank
for
you.
us, and it was very nice to see that. We appreciate everyone who's excited. We're excited too, and we appreciate the congratulations. It's an exciting time in our lives, so thank you.
Everyone take a shot whenever Scott says exciting, because I can't do it.
Everyone take a shot every time Elise breathes right into the microphone.
But you edit that out.
Sometimes. Just like to hear you listening.
I'm a heavy breather.
You are. I never noticed it until we started doing a podcast. And I was like, is that me? That's not me, is it? No, it's Elise. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to make sure we thanked everyone for their kind words.
You. Thank you. Thank you.
Now we can move into the Roses and Thornies proper.
Yes, everyone, this is the part of the podcast where Scott and I look back on the last week and we talk about the good, the bad, the Rosies, the Thornies. And as always, we're going to start with the bad.
All right. What is bad?
Scott, I want to know what your bad is. Or do you need to know my bad?
Oh, you want me to go first?
I was asking what your thorn was, so yes.
My thorn is our dog is she's a mess. She's all.
Is she?
Have we talked about the mats that happened behind her ears on the show before?
I think we have.
She had like two matty spots behind her ears, and we didn't know what those were. And the matty spots, like her hair's not that matted, but we were looking at her, and we're like, something's wrong with this dog. Like when we take her to get groomed, so we go to a groomer and we take her and we told her, we was like, just do like, what you would do to Australian Shepherds, right? And
Yeah.
I don't know if they're doing the right thing, or at least they're not doing the thing that I want, because like they leave like her butt hair is like super long, and then like her body hair, like it swoops up in the middle. It's hard to describe, but there's something wrong with the way this dog's groomed.
Yes, I think I looked it up and they said that she's getting the teddy cut.
Well, I don't want no teddy cut.
I know. I want the slim dog so people stop thinking that she looks disproportionate.
Everyone
cut.
thinks she's a giant dog with a tiny head, and it's because her body's so poofy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so next time we take her groomed, we got to get that done.
Just say, hey, trim her down. Make her look even.
So yeah, that's all. My dog's a mess. We went on a walk with her this evening, And like I was just looking at her back hair, and it's all long and gross looking.
Thankfully, she doesn't have diarrhea, because if she did, yuck.
Gross. Yeah. So we got to take her to get groomed again. I feel like we just did that, and we got to do it again now.
Yeah, they're not cutting the hair.
They're not. It's weird. I don't understand. And I love this groomer.
Yeah,
they've been great
great
so far, but I think we just don't know. I think it's our fault. That's what I think it is. I think we've been telling them the wrong things.
Okay.
So we'll fix this. But that's my thorn.
Okay.
What a life I lead.
Yeah.
My thorn is my pet groomer is not doing. I'm my pet groomer not doing the right thing.
It's okay. At least we have enough money to take her back and get it groomed again.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Hey, Lise, what's your deal? What's your problem?
Mine actually feels like a thorn. It hurt. It hurt like a thorn. I changed my thorn today because I was going to do one thing, but then something worse happened to me before I recorded. So Scott likes to do this thing where he gets back into the bed underneath the sheets in his regular clothes, which usually irritates me.
I knew this was going to be all my fault.
But
somehow.
Anyways, he did that after I got home, and I was going to change and get, in my clothes for walking out of my jeans and stuff so that we could take the dogs on a nice little afternoon before dinner stroll. And Scott was like, before you do that, just get in bed, Elise. It's so nice and comfy. So I did. And as I was laying down, I was trying to cuddle with Scott, and then I was like, oh, man, there's something, and it's just like sharp and pointy in the bed. What is that? And I felt in the sheets, and I tried to get it, and I couldn't find it.
And I couldn't find it either. I looked. Please, you're gonna sell the story to where it's all my fault.
It's not your fault. And then I kept feeling something poke, and I was like, gosh, this really, like, it hurts. There's something that's poking me. What is this? And so then I felt again, and there was nothing on the sheets. And then I was like, no, there's something, and I don't know what it is, but it hurts. And so I popped up and looked. And as soon as I moved my body to the point where my backside was facing down, a bee fell on the sheet, and I got stung by a bee on my bottom.
In bed.
I
don't know how that happened. So,
it was awful. A bee flew into the sheets, got on the bed, and then found my bum and stung me.
Yeah.
And it still kind of stings.
So here, I mean, the story of this is we've been seeing bees in this house more frequently.
And we've never gotten stung before. And I've never gotten stung. Who in the world gets stung on the bottom by a bee?
In bed. The confluence of events that had to lead to a bee getting in the house, crawling in the sheets right when you were there. I don't know. You got stung
really
on
bad.
the butt. I don't think that's ever happened in the history of bees before.
I don't think so
a bee
either.
sting in bed on the butt.
I don't know if that's what I want to be in the Guinness Book of World Records for, though. First woman to get stung on the bottom by a bee in bed.
I officially am going to email the landlord, though, because the bees.
They're out of control.
They're
Scott.
on the move. I think what this is I think we have a beehive in our attic somewhere, because it's been at first it was we see the occasional bee, and I was like, oh, it got in when we left the back door open or something.
Yeah, no, this is not when the back door is left open.
There's 2 to 3 bees a day now, and
Yeah.
they're all they fly into our lights and burn themselves and then fall and die mostly, but now they're
crawling in the sheets.
They're coming into bed, and that's not allowed. Oh my gosh, I'm glad you're okay. I'm sorry I didn't see the bee. I don't know how
I've always
that
been
happened.
afraid since we started having bees, because I sleep with my mouth open sometimes.
Since we started having bees.
What if
Ever since you let these bees into the house, Scott, I've been afraid.
What if while I'm sleeping a bee crawls into my mouth?
Why would it do that?
Because my mouth is open sometimes when I
Hey
sleep.
babe, shut your mouth.
But I don't know that I open it.
It's really funny.
Well, it's gonna sting my tongue.
No, I'm glad you're not allergic. That's what I'm glad. I'm glad you're not allergic.
That we know of.
I looked at your butt. It's not any more swollen than it normally is. Hey.
Haha.
I like your butt.
Thanks.
Hey, babe.
What?
That was a bad thing. But what's a good thing?
This past weekend was wonderful because we got to celebrate someone very special.
Who?
We got to celebrate you. It was Scotty's birthday, and this is the first birthday in I don't know how many years where I've actually gotten to spend the entire day with you on your birthday, because normally you leave me and you go to that stupid film festival. And I'm always sad because I don't get to spend the day with you. And birthdays are really important to me, to get to celebrate people. And so it was really special for me to get to celebrate you this year on your birthday.
And all it took was a global pandemic.
I'll take it.
I told you, though. This is it. Next year. I'm
No.
going back.
No, you're not. Not for the full week, at least.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you can't just leave me for a week with a child.
There will be grandparents and aunts and
Scott,
friends.
no.
You'll be fine.
No.
You'll be fine.
No.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. We'll just table that conversation.
You know what? He'll be potentially crawling by then. So that's fine. I'll see him crawl for the first time and do all these cool things. And I'll teach him to do things while you're gone, and then you'll miss all of these firsts. It's fine.
Okay.
Yep.
Fair trade.
Yep.
You got cell phone cameras now. I'll see it on video.
I'm not going to record it.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you that it happened.
You're going to record it. You're going to record it. That's a great rose, babe. It's me. It's me. I'm 35
Did you have
now.
a good birthday?
I did. I had a very good birthday.
Did I celebrate you adequately?
It was extremely adequate, yes.
Did it exceed your expectations?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like, birthdays are not a huge thing to me.
I love birthdays.
So I didn't have a lot of expectations. I mean, like, I love celebrating your birthday, but like my own birthday has never been like a big deal for me. So, you know, it was nice. Like, we hung out with my family on Saturday, and then we hung out with your family on Sunday, and I got some cool gifts. And I guess this is my rose now, right? Because that you kind of stole my rose. Like, it's my birthday, and you kind of just took it. You took it.
But it was special for me.
I understand that. My rose is it's my birthday, and I got some treats. I bought myself a present. I bought myself a new video game.
What other treats did you get?
What do you mean?
Sweet treats and goodies treats.
Oh, I got an apple pie. I don't like cake. So I got an apple pie when I was with my family because I love pie. And then we tried an ice cream pie with your family. And that was weird because it was cookies and cream ice cream, which I love.
Yeah, their cookies and cream ice cream is so good.
The best cookies and cream I've ever had. But the pie, like the crust was mint flavored. It was like cookie mint. And I don't really like that. And like,
you ate some today.
Yeah. I mean, I like, what I did was I peeled all the crust off and ate that by itself so it wouldn't taint the delicious cookies and cream flavor of the rest of it. It was just weird. I don't know why. Like, it did not improve. The mint did not improve the cookies and cream.
No.
I don't know why they did that. So I hope that they don't do that.
I guess you could have had that as your thorn.
No, it's not that big of a deal. It was still delicious. It was delicious.
I mean, I'm sorry. I think that a pie like that is worse than a matted dog.
No, it's not. It's not. Because we're walking out with this matted dog looking embarrassing. Like, I can't take care of our dog.
You can fix the matted dog. We can't fix that pie. That pie's out of our control.
It's okay. We'll eat it, and then we'll get another pie, and it'll be better.
Maybe.
What else I got? I got an Ergo Baby.
What's that, Scott?
It's a thing that you carry my son in 6 months.
Well, that sounds really sweet. Who would have gotten you a gift that's so thoughtful?
My wonderful wife, my incredible,
she must love you a lot and just really
does.
think about you and about how much you are excited about this kid and how much you just want to have him by you all the time.
She does. She does.
It'll be like you put him on your tummy because you didn't get to have him in your tummy.
Yep. On the tummy, not in the tummy. You're right. You're right.
Yep.
And I bought myself a video game, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. It's a cool little platform Metroidvania game.
Why can't I see you?
Because you're not sitting in the right spot.
But you didn't ask me to move or anything.
I just thought you didn't want to see me.
Oh, my bee sting still hurts.
I'm sorry, baby. And I got a thermos that says Datasaurus on it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very dad themed birthday. It was my final birthday of not being a dad.
But it was very dad.
It's very
themed.
dad themed. No, it made me excited. The thermos almost made me cry. I was excited, and the Ergo baby. I want to Ergo my baby.
He got you a little card too.
Yeah, my baby got me a little card. That was adorable.
He picked it out.
Did he?
Yeah. I let the belly walk towards the cards, and he said, "This one."
Well, he's already got good taste, this kid.
Yeah.
Can't wait to meet him.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it was a very good birthday. I loved it. 35. Holy crap. Can't believe it. But excited. It's going to be a good year. This is going to be a crazy year for me. 34, it was a rough year. Lost the job. Crazy stuff happening in the world. But it's 35's looking up. We're going to get a new house. We're going to get a new baby. Got a new job. I'm going to continue to grow the podcast. We got Matt's new show coming. It's going to be a good year.
Hope so.
Really good year.
Hope.
Yeah.
You know what else is going to be good?
What?
The season finale of season 2 of the OC.
Not quite yet, though. We still got 3 more episodes before that. Is that your way to transition on to the OC?
I was going to try to.
Do it.
I did it without being mean to you. Did you like that?
I always, literally always.
Mm-hmm.
If you could do everything in life without being mean to me, I think everything would be better.
Would that be winning, Scott? Would it?
Okay, so talk to me about this episode of the OC.
All right. The Return of the Nana is the 21st episode of season 2 of the OC. It was written by the show creator Josh Schwartz and directed by our boy Ian Toynton.
Ooh.
It aired on Cinco de Mayo in 2005.
The big guns are coming out.
Yeah, that's a dynamic duo. Yeah. If you know it's a Toynton Shorts episode, you know that it's going to be a good one.
A Toynton Shorts. It's a Toynton Shorts joint.
It's hard to say Toynton Shorts. Toynton Shorts.
I mean, it's hard to say Toynton. That's why I always go
Toynton.
Ian Toynton.
Toynton.
Yeah, this week on the OC, the Nana is getting married. Seth, Ryan, and Sandy head down to Miami to figure out what the hell is going on and meet this new guy. That leaves a bunch of people alone in the OC, and they get in trouble. Kirsten makes out with Carter. Summer makes out with Zach and Trey. Whew. Well, Trey commits sexual assault on Marissa, and I'm not even gonna joke about that because it's real fucked up. It's awful.
Yep.
So that's that episode. At least
he really messed up, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. What did you think of this episode of the OC?
Well, Scott, last week, what did we do? We opened
the Mentos.
The Mentos.
Okay.
And you know what we're doing this week, Scott?
Opening the Coke?
We opened the Coke.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we opened that Coke, and we know what happens with Coke and the carbonation. And you know what? I almost want to say maybe we shook the Coke a little bit before we opened it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It got a little dangerous. So we shook it real hard, and then we had to open it and then be like, oh, no, we can't open it all the way yet. Because if I open it all the way, it's already going to explode. And then what's the use of the Mentos? So you had to get a little bit of pressure out. And then you finally got to open it at the very end. Yep.
Glad we're sticking.
But it's open.
Glad we're sticking to this metaphor.
So now we got the Mentos and we got the Coke.
Great, Elise.
Yep.
Can you tell me what you thought of the episode?
We opened the Coke, Scott.
Please, we can't do the same joke. It's not been enough days.
It's been a week.
Did you like it has not been a week. We recorded last week's late.
Oh, we did. But it's been enough days still,
Elise,
everyone.
Please talk to me about what you liked. Did you like the episode?
You know, there are parts of it that I like. There are parts of it that frustrated me. But is it good that it frustrated me? Probably so.
Yeah.
It's moving all the storylines along.
Yeah. I like this episode quite a bit. Not as much as I liked last week's. But this is one of those ones where, yeah, everyone is doing bad. Everyone is making the wrong decision. Everyone is fucking up.
But at least they're making decisions.
True. I mean, stuff is happening. The sexual assault was rough. I did not see that. I mean, I didn't see it coming going into the episode, but about halfway through the episode, I was like, oh, fuck, this is where we're going to go.
Yeah, you called it.
Kirsten making out with Carter was rough.
After she had already held strong.
Seth making his stupid choices was rough, and Summer's response to Seth's stupid choices was rough. Everyone's doing bad. Even Sandy Cohen is okay. We'll get to it. His
poor mother.
Yeah, I mean, you know who's the only character in the show this week that didn't do anything wrong?
The Nana.
Yes, but I meant like our usual characters.
Who?
Ryan.
That's true.
Ryan didn't do anything wrong. He's the perfect one.
And what does that come to?
Nothing.
If it's Ryan.
Nothing. Yeah.
What is,
But I do think there is something to the fact of when you recognize all the poor choices that your characters are making, and it is tearing you apart watching them do it. I think that's the show, like, kicking ass. I do.
Yeah.
Like when you're like, oh god, and like I was cringing throughout a lot of this as Kirsten like maneuvers things where she's just like, oh, you can just we don't have to go eat at the Arches. We can just have dinner over at my place and I'll cook. You're just like,
everyone knows she can't cook.
Yeah. When Seth agrees to the stupidness he agrees to, you're just like you're cringing because you know what's going to happen, and yet you can't look away. And I think that's a symptom of a good episode of television. But enough of the overall. Let's get into our specifics. What, Elise, was the specific thing you disliked the most? Our thorn of the episode. Elise, what was it?
So Trey does a lot of really naughty things this episode, and it's sad.
Oh,
because
God.
They'd been working so hard on like trying to make it seem as though Trey had been redeeming himself, and then Jess comes along and she gives him some coke, not the type of coke that we're going to use for the Mentos. I mean, like the drug coke,
cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that starts his downward spiral, and then he just tries to, on the beach, get it going with Marissa, and she said no, and she meant no. And he did not like that.
Yeah.
And she hit him. She hit him hard. And I'm glad that she found that stick on the beach, because I would not want to have known.
Yeah, I mean, it's always interesting when these shows do this kind of plot line, and this is not the first of the teen drama shows that has gone down this path, has done this kind of plot line, and it's always, covering it is weird because, I mean, like, this is a show where you and I like to have fun and be silly, and this is not a silly topic. This is a character that, and I think it is, they really turned it on in this episode that like he's gonna find a job, and like he was finally getting his shit together, and like his brother was like having faith in him again, and then he just makes this decision. He just decides to do this thing, and a lot of it is like I don't want to. It is his fault, but a lot of this is like his conversation with Jess. Like when he like was thinking Marissa's a little into him, like Jess laughs at him and is basically like, you think someone like Marissa Cooper would ever be into you? And that's got his toxically masculine pride up,
Ego.
right? And he has to prove, and so her rejection of him is not just her saying no, it's her saying he is trash, he is this thing he's terrified of being, and his reaction to that is to do the worst possible thing he could do. I mean, thank God, like, they didn't go there. She got away, but Jesus, yeah, this is some dark shit. And I did not see it coming. Like when we talked about the Trey, I thought there was going to be a Marissa Trey, like, dark side competition here, and that is not the way this show went.
That's not what happened, Scott.
And now, I mean, now you're like, the terrifying thing is, what is going to happen next? Because Ryan's going to get home. Is Marissa going to tell him?
Do you think she would?
I think she's going to try to keep it a secret, but I think secrets in the show come out. So he's going to find out eventually.
I think it's better for him to find out from Marissa or Trey.
I don't know. Obviously, I think like finding out from Trey is going to be bad if that's the way it goes. Like he's going to react very badly to that. I don't know. It's just.
Well, I mean, he's got to know too. Like that was his brother's girl.
Yeah. Well, it's not. I mean, Oh God, there's so many terrible things about it. I don't even really want to talk about it anymore. It was an awful scene.
Bad.
It was an awful scene.
It was my least favorite thing because it was bad.
And I'm not saying that the show like I'm not declaring the show should not have gone there. I think there are ways to have those kind of storylines in shows that are important to do and can be impactful. And I think that's a well that we tend to go to quite a bit, though, because it's an easy thing to mine for drama. And I don't know if it's the best thing to always do.
No, it hits a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't done this yet, but I'm going to put a content warning at the top of this episode in case someone's listening that has gone through something like that. Because if you haven't watched this episode in a while or don't remember, you're going to be blindsided by it. And I don't want that. So I'm definitely doing that. It's uncomfortable. Yeah. Yeah. But I agree with you. I mean, you picked that, so I would have picked that as well. To make things a little more lighthearted, though, because there's still some funny things happening on this episode.
Is there?
Yes.
Okay.
My thorn is a girl named Mary Sue.
Can I get in on the action? Wait. Mary Sue, nice to meet you.
So, when Seth goes with his father to Miami, he and Summer go on a timeout because he goes to apologize to Summer, and Summer's hitting $1
million baby.
She's hitting a punching bag, and while listening to Eye of the Tiger, it's wonderful. And so he apologizes once again, and she says, "Okay, we should go on a break. We should take a timeout." And he said, "Fine, that's fine because I'm going to Miami." And she thinks Miami to go for spring break because it's spring break to do like crazy spring break shit.
Spring break 05. What did you do in spring break of 2005?
In spring break of 2005, I don't remember. I was 20 years old. I might have gone to my friend's lake house. We never did like the big. We never did like the big thing. The big like that kind of big.
Never once.
Huh?
Never once. Never one time did you do a big spring break thing.
Not at we never went to like a beach and did the beach spring break. Woo! We never did that. We went to friends had lake houses and we went out to lake houses for the week and we partied, but it was never like that. That's not the type of guy I am. I never liked that scene really. So the point is he's not going for that, but she doesn't believe him. And then while he's playing shuffleboard with some old people, which I think you have a lot to talk about there.
I will share about that.
I won't spoil that. He meets this girl named Mary Sue, this young, blonde, beautiful girl visiting her grandmother, but she's just not there visiting her grandmother. She's there to enter a competition, a spring break competition where you spray whipped cream all over a woman's body and then a dude has to lick it up, and the guy who licks it up the fastest wins enough money for her to go to college, is what she said.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. And then she's got this she goes to apparently a super religious school and has got this terrible southern accented boyfriend.
She lives in the Bible Belt, Scott. You can just say it. She's from the Bible Belt and goes to a small private religious college that frowns upon men licking whipped cream off of women.
Can't find my girlfriend.
Yeah? Lost her in the crowd?
I lost her last night. She told me she was coming to Florida to see her grandma, but her best friend told me she entered some contest down here, immodestly revealing her body for money.
Oh, well, spring break, that does happen.
Doesn't happen where we're from.
Where's that?
Bob Jones University. If they find out what she's doing here, she'll be expelled, which won't matter when she's burning in hell.
Yes, it does. But here's my problem with all this.
Yes.
I don't believe any of it. It's so preposterous and contrived in order to get Seth into a position where he's going to make a dumb decision. Mm-hmm. I just don't ever think that Seth would agree to do any of this. They would just oh, I guess I got to do the licking up of the whipped cream. It's just so ridiculous. They don't ever bother to characterize this Mary Sue girl. And then her stupid southern, I hate it all. I hate it all. It's terrible.
I'm sorry you hate it so much.
Don't like it. And then of course Summer happens to be
watching
at the exact time he's on it's not MTV. It's
it's practically MTV. It's
It's bad.
It's the OC's version of MTV, so they don't have to say MTV.
Yeah, but the spring break VJ, the MTV, it was such a good impression of what like 2005 spring break on MTV was like.
Oh yeah.
What up, what up, what up? Yeah! My name's Swerve, the host of MVN Sprung Break, coming at you live from South Beach.
I never went and did that. But like we definitely watched it on MTV, like especially when I was like 16, 17. Like we were definitely watching that show on MTV.
Yeah, you are.
There were girls in bikinis.
Yeah.
And it was great.
Well, I was not one of them.
I know. But yeah, that's my thorn.
Did you know
that you did not go to like a spring break in South Beach and did like wet t-shirt contests and like got wasted on the beach? I mean, I didn't know for sure, but I made an educated guess based on what I know about you.
I did do spring break on the beach one year.
Where?
Gulf Shores.
Were there a lot?
We actually were at Orange Beach instead of Gulf Shores, but it's right next door. It's a little bit tamer in Orange Beach, but you can still go.
Did you?
I didn't go to the big things.
This
no.
is why you didn't like that movie Spring Breakers, because it reminded you of your experience.
I
on the
never
Gulf
did anything
Shores.
like that. It was really just a bunch of me and my friends, and we just hung out in our place. It's where I bonded with Heather.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's my thorn. I didn't like that. I didn't like that Mary Sue. I don't like her. She's literally a.
You know who does like her?
She's literally a Mary Sue.
You know who does like her?
Who likes her?
Josh Schwartz. You want to know why?
Why?
He puts her in his show Heart of Dixie.
Wait, the character or the actress?
The actress.
Okay, well that's fine. It's a character. I got nothing against that actress.
I think her name is Mary Ellen, or no, her name's Lemon, but she has a sister, Mary
Is she
Ellen.
doing the Southern accent thing?
Oh yeah, hardcore.
Maybe we'll watch that show one day.
I liked it.
Hey, Elise, talk to me about your favorite part of this episode, though.
Guys, I think everyone probably knows me enough by now to know how much I love old people and how much I like really look forward to that time in my life to where I can just sit out in the sun and play shuffleboard and read books and scoot around the retirement place because I think it'll be a blast and old people can get away with anything and everything they want to because they're old.
You can't wait to be old.
They've learned.
You can't wait.
And earned that respect. And so when Seth pretends to fit in at the retirement community, like how I hope to be able to fit in at the retirement community, it just makes my day.
Yo, move. You playing with him? Yeah, I'm playing with him.
I thought you were playing with me.
I'm playing with him.
No, I just moved.
Now we're talking.
I'm with him.
All right, so I'll watch.
Hey, you, Stanley.
Hey, look who's here.
How are you?
Terrible.
Worse.
How's your nervous stomach? Still got spilkers?
Why don't you have a seat?
You need my heating pad?
Back's a little sore.
All right. Now I'm officially terrified.
He doesn't have as many friends at school.
This is not the first time we've seen Old Man Seth.
Oh no. Old Man Seth is the best.
We saw Old Man Seth when they went on the golf trip when he needed his humidifier, and
this time we have him with his sunshades that are those like cataract ones that go all the way around the full face. Still wearing his old man clothes. He gives his schedule of his dinner at 4:00 and making sure that he has all of his activities planned, including bridge. Bridge is such an old person game.
Yeah, he plays bridge and mahjong, and he's very upset when he learns that the Nana's mahjong day has moved because it throws his schedule off, and he beats everyone at shuffleboard. Oh my god!
I just love it. I love seeing Seth in his element with old people too. And Ryan's right. Seth's walking in there and he's like, he doesn't even have this many friends in the OC.
He's got 3.
What is up with this?
Maybe that's why I dislike Mary Sue so much, because we could have gotten an entire episode of the show of Old Man Seth.
Oh yeah, I think that's why.
The crime of this episode is that Old Man Seth is only in the very first part of it, and then he's sucked into the spring break life. And I just don't believe Old Man Seth would get sucked into that. I just he wants to play shuffleboard. He doesn't want to lick whipped cream off a girl.
No, he doesn't.
I am legitimately like, since Summer and Seth have gotten back together, they have yet to have a good episode where they're just like the two of them being happy together. And that's a bummer.
Yeah.
I don't
all
know
about that chase for them writers.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm worried because that means I don't know if the writers know how to do them in a just a happy, like, successful relationship.
Yes.
And that doesn't bode well for their relationship.
You've brought that up before a couple times.
I have. This damn Zach, he makes gnocchi.
I love gnocchi.
You can't resist the gnocchi.
Buongiorno, Summer.
So, what is gnocchi?
I don't know. I'm making gnocchi. You've never had gnocchi before?
No, I've never heard of it until like 5 seconds ago. How do you say it?
Gnocchi.
Gnocchi.
Bellissimo.
And he's talking all Italian, and then he just happens to turn on the TV. Like, this is going to be well, so I'll just turn on the TV.
Well, I mean, he didn't know.
He didn't know,
He
but
didn't
also
know.
maybe he did.
He didn't know.
Maybe he did. I literally halfway through the show, I turned to you and said, "I wonder if Zach hired Marianne to go down there."
Mary Sue.
Mary
No.
Sue. Whatever.
Okay, Scott, tell me about your rose.
I had a lot of trouble with this one. Not because there's not a lot to love, but because there's too much to love. And picking one thing that I enjoyed in this week's episode was very difficult. Thing number one I enjoyed, we already talked about, was Ryan Atwood, for maybe the first time in the history of the show, being the guy that doesn't do anything wrong in this episode. He's just kind of around telling everyone they're making bad choices, and they just keep doing it.
It's true.
And he's great. He's just like completely out of his element in Miami, like just completely, and he just doesn't know what to do. And he doesn't.
Welcome to Miami.
They played that
song
so 3 times. Not only
and referenced it.
Yeah, not only did they play the song 3 times, but then they had Sandy Cohen say,
Whoa! The immortal words of Will Smith. Welcome to Miami.
When did that song come out? Was it out in the early 2000s? Is that why it was so big?
I don't know. Let's look up.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I felt like, was before the 2000s.
97.
Yeah, see, it's an old song.
Yeah, 1998.
It's almost 10 years.
But like, pretend that you are a showrunner, and you're like, all right, we need like a song that screams Miami.
You know what?
What?
This might mean that the younger generation will know about people's hips. And if they lie.
Why?
Because people use this Welcome to Miami song.
Uh-huh.
But I guess people won't know about the Welcome to Miami song now.
Yeah, I wonder if in 2020, if you're trying to do like the quintessential "We're in Miami" song, I don't think they'd pick this one.
No,
what would they
not.
pick? Are there any new Miami songs? I feel like Pitbull had to do a song
it had
about
to be
Miami.
something about Pitbull.
I'm just gonna search
the
Miami.
New York song is the Welcome to New York. That'll always be that one. But man, I don't know. I'm sure he has something.
Pitbull has a song with Lil Jon that is literally called "Damn I Love Miami."
Probably something like that. It was on Bad Boys, sure.
Yeah. So yeah, Brian Atwood loved it. Sandy Cohen shutting down his mom's fiance is like, here's the deal.
That's your rose?
Well, part of me doesn't like that he did it. However, he's really good at it. Like, what he says to him is just like really good Sandy Cohen lawyering.
I'm just so happy she's met a nice guy, you know, an honest guy.
Oh, thank you, Sandy.
Oh, thank you. You know, listen, there are a lot of guys out there, they see an older woman, not in perfect health, with $1 million condo in her name. Well, we've all seen 60 Minutes, haven't we?
Well, I'm more a Dateline guy. I like that Stone Phillips.
Who doesn't? You know, I was a public defender for many years, and my tendency is to be suspicious. It's a problem for me, Bobby. You know, I got trust issues. I'm working on it. But I got a ways to go.
You can trust me, Sandy.
Well, that's what I figured. You know, so I tell my cop friends, my buddies at the FBI, they say, Sandy, let me run a background check on this guy. You know what I say? I said, nah, Sophie Cohen is still pretty sharp. If she trusts you, I trust you.
But he's just like, it's so good. It's so good, and it scares the shit out of the dude. But here, I'm torn on this. Because on the one hand, I want to say he has no right getting involved in his mom's relationship like that. Like, that's her choice. That's her deal. On the other hand, he was right?
Yeah, he was.
Like, that this guy was trying to take advantage of this woman who is in poor health, who has cancer and is recovering from cancer and has $1 million condo that he's hoping to get his hands on. Like, the show proves that Sandy Cohen was right about that. And his mom isn't even mad at him by the end of the show. By the end of the show, she's like, I probably knew it too, and I just didn't want to accept it. It's just like, it's just the Sandy Cohen, Ryan Atwood streak of wanting to stick your nose into business that it might not be your choice to make that call. I don't know. I mean, maybe if my parents are still together, maybe if my parents were separated or something, and I was worried about my mom being taken advantage of, like, I would feel like that's my duty as a son.
You would.
Yeah. So I don't know. I liked it. I liked it a whole lot. I liked what he said, and I liked that it worked. And I was.
At least we know that if something happens to you, little dude will act like Sandy.
Yeah. Well, because he's the Sandy Cohen guide to parenting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I loved that. We haven't talked a lot about Kirsten and Carter this week.
We'll talk about it in relationship status.
We'll circle back around that. But I actually liked how that thing ended.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot to like in this episode, baby.
Yeah, it's
And
a
then
good episode.
And there's one thing to really, really not like.
We only have 3 more until the end of the season.
I know, it's crazy. It feels like it though. It feels like everything's
wrapping up.
Yeah, some
getting
sort of,
big before it blows.
Some sort of Mentos metaphor or something.
You got all those ingredients. They're open.
Stop.
You don't know what's going to happen next week with that Mentos and Coke, do you?
Probably well, I mean, I know what the title of next week's show is, so I think.
What's it called?
We haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
We're jumping ahead.
Okay.
We'll get there.
Okay.
Is that it? Is that all you want to talk about the episode?
That's all I want
before
to
we
talk
move
about.
To the style section.
Yes.
All right. Let's talk about some style.
Come on, Scott. Tell me about the style in the OC. Hey, hey, hey. Come on, Scott. Come on. Tell me about the style in the OC. Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know if I like that remix.
Yeah, I didn't. I went on a
wasn't
wing
feeling
and it
it.
wasn't good. I tried to recover. It wasn't good. We won't do that one again.
Okay. So first of all, earlier in the episode when Marissa sees Ryan before he leaves for Miami, she's gorgeous. This is some of the best dressed and best looking I've ever seen Marissa.
She's wearing that drapey top.
She's got a drapey top, and it's just everything's working for me.
It's a pretty color. Let's look at our boy Seth.
So, okay.
Oh, I guess we've kind of already talked about his old man retirement.
But I just love it. Like, before he heads to Miami, he's wearing a sweater vest, which over just a plain white tee, which I think is just delightful and kind of old man looking. And then he's just wearing like it's not Lacoste. I can't tell what kind of polo that is, but he's just rocking an old dude looking polo. And as you mentioned, the sunglasses.
Those are like the cataract ones, right?
Yeah,
like the full 360.
wraparound. Yeah. They're maximum eye protection. It's wonderful. Yeah. I love the look. I love it so much.
Well,
but you know whose look I love more?
Yeah, I was going to say, tell me about this Ryan look that you decided to pull.
Miami Ryan is
It's like Chino Ryan.
Not kind of. It's like a slightly dressed up Chino Ryan.
Yeah.
He's still wearing his short sleeve button down, but he's got it unbuttoned, and his white tank is exposed underneath it. And the shirt comes off at some point, and he's just like, when they're around the pool, he's just wearing the tank. But it's just like he's cashing it up a little bit here, and it's like a very what is this color? It's like a sandy beigey, like. I don't know. It looks kind of like a 50s look that would probably fit in with all these old men. Like he looks he looks kind of like he's dressing old Manny a little bit too.
I see that.
You know what I mean?
I get you. Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yeah, I get that.
It's just like silently rocking this look, and it works. It works really well.
Yep. Just adding that wrist cuff, and then he's got it all edgy old man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Scott. Are you ready
to
talk about the relationships?
I
And
am.
really round out this episode?
Yes.
Okay. So, our first couple is Sandy and Kirsten Cohen. Last week, we gave them an 8 out of 10. They had some growth there. The yo-yo couple that we thought would never yo-yo. Sandy goes to visit his mom and is honest with her that he and Kirsten have seen better days. The Nana is sure that they can work through it, but the Nana doesn't know that while Kiki is back at home, she has dinner with Carter at her house, drinks too much wine, and she gets her smooch on.
She does.
Kirsten just loves to kiss all the men who Sandy has as friends. Now she has officially kissed Jimmy and Carter. The big question is whether she'll be honest with Sandy or hide it. So because of that, we're knocking them down to a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is that Carter is now leaving, right?
We hope.
He has taken another job.
We hope.
And he's going to New York and out of our show. And we never have to deal with this ever again.
We hope.
The bad news is, yes, that they kissed. Fuck.
Yep.
So disappointed. And then, of course, the beat that we leave our episode on, which is Kirsten Cohen downing a glass of vodka, just like sucking it down. Like seems like she's about to go on a pretty serious bender, which will not be good for her at all. Yeah, I mean, I'm worried about the two of them for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. If I had to guess, I don't think she's going to tell him because this has happened before, and now it's happening again.
Mm-hmm.
Refresh my memory. Did Sandy and what's her name, Rebecca, did they make out? They did, right? They didn't?
She went in for it and he didn't
pulled
do
away.
it.
That's my boy. Be strong. Be strong.
I'm pretty sure.
It's pretty disappointing. I'm really bummed out by Kirsten. I didn't like. My other thing is I never got like the attraction to Carter. I guess he's a good looking dude. He doesn't seem like an interesting person though. I think
his personality was probably similar to Sandy's at one point in time.
I could see that. Yeah, I mean there is like the he had the Revolution magazine and all that. I could see that. Yeah, I don't know. If you want like a formal prediction, like will she tell him or will she hide it? I think she's gonna hide it, and I think he's gonna confront her about her drinking, and it's gonna come out eventually. That's my prediction.
Okay.
Next up, we have Julie Cooper and Caleb Nickel. Last week, we gave them a pretty rough 3 out of 10. Caleb and Julie are supposedly working on their relationship, per Caleb's words last week, but we don't see any progress made this week with our two characters not in the episode. Neither Caleb nor Julie appears in this episode at all. Hopefully some good things are happening to them off screen, but we're going to leave them at a 3 out of 10.
Yeah, we don't know. But we do know how Summer and Seth are doing.
Oh.
Last week, Scott, they were at a 2 out of 10. And this week, Summer works out her frustration towards Seth on her punching bag and lets Seth know that she needs to find some time away. And the time away gives Seth the opportunity to go to Miami, visit the Nana, and enter an MTV-style spring break contest licking whipped cream off of another girl's body.
Yikes.
The break also gives Summer enough time to have a home-cooked meal by Zach and have a little smooch session once Summer sees Seth on the TV. So things are not looking good for these two. We're bumping them down to a 1 out of 10. Unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm worried. I'm really worried.
Yeah, we've gone over it. Don't know how to write them. Write them apart, write them together.
Do you want me to make predictions on this?
Yeah,
it
tell
feels
me.
like it's prediction season. So, I think Zach is going to be like, yes, my plan has worked perfectly. And then he's going to like call up Summer and be like, so when do you want another Italian feast complete with gnocchi and smoochie? And
smoochie.
And Summer's going to be like, no, that was a mistake. I was just really mad at Cohen. Like, we're still broken up. And Zach is going to be pissed.
You think so?
He's going to be pissed. He's going to, this is his origin story, right? We've decided this is a villain origin story. And he's going to take Atomic County and he's going to try to steal it from Seth.
The ultimate villain.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Seth is going to both be acknowledging that he fucked up, and he's going to be super pissed off at Summer for what she did, and he's going to act like a little boy about it, and he'll eventually come around, though.
Okay, we will see.
Yeah. All right, next up we have Kirsten and Carter. Last week we gave them a 1 out of 10. This episode would have cycled through a lot of numbers for this couple, but at the end, Carter is leaving for a new job. Kirsten and Carter have their romantic dinner at her empty home with 2 bottles of wine. You think they would have learned their lesson last week when they didn't know how to stop wine drinking. At the end of the night, they let their hormones take over and lip lock. This is great, Elise.
Thank you.
When Kirsten pulls away, she wishes Carter well on his new job away from Newport. She got her kiss and now is ready for him to leave. We're going to leave him at 1 out of 10. We're not quite ready to write him off the board. We'll have
we
to
got to
see.
make sure he's gone before we take him off, right, Scott?
Got to see the aftermath.
Okay. So next we have Ryan and Marissa. Last week we're at a 5 out of 10. Marissa doesn't seem fazed by Ryan and Seth's trip to Miami during spring break and expects it to get a little crazy. You notice that difference between her and Summer. She was just like encouraging it and thinking that it was funny. Ryan doesn't want to leave Marissa because he thinks things are going well, and he also doesn't want to leave his brother. Marissa tries too hard to make Ryan happy and says she will hang out with Trey, and she sends some mixed signals to him until the end. No means no, Trey. I hope this doesn't hurt Ryan and Marissa's relationship.
See, I don't know if she
6
sent
out of
mixed
10.
signals, though.
Well, I don't know if she sent them. I mean, you go back and forth. Like, she didn't at the house that night, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But before then, she kept going to see Trey, kept trying to help him. Granted, she did say that she was doing it for Ryan, but there's going to be some point where, especially when Ryan leaves town and she's still doing it, like, I understand where he could think that she was interested.
Yeah.
But she definitely was not that evening.
Yeah, I mean, I think this just goes down to this thing we have where, like, if someone of the sex you are interested in is nice to you, the assumption that they must be into you and want to bang you is toxic and bad, right? Like, just someone being like, I understand, like, my only game flirting wise is to just be nice to the girl I like. That's all I've got. That's all I've got. I don't have any other game. But just because someone is nice to you does not mean that they are into you.
Right.
And I think that is the negative assumption that he made, that he's just like, and I think a lot of it comes from the place that he grew up and the people he grew up around, where people just like weren't nice to him. He had a shitty home where his family was never nice to him. People did not do things for him. People did not show him kindness. And yes, he interprets that the wrong way and makes a terrible decision based off of that incorrect interpretation. But yeah, I mean, I'm just very hesitant to say like obviously none of this is Marissa's fault in any way. Yeah.
No, I don't. I agree with that.
Even if she was at one point sending mixed signals, like even if that is true, none of this is her fault.
Yeah, she was very clear.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah,
very clear,
as clear as possible. Yeah,
yes,
yeah. It's awful. I hate talking about this. I hate it. Yeah, I don't know. This is the aftermath of this thing is going to be rough on their relationship, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I am terrified that like Trey's gonna make up some bullshit story that like she came on to me, blah blah blah, type thing.
You're just gonna have to watch and see, Scott. Watch and see.
I'm hope he's gone by the end of the season. I don't like Trey. Go away. Look at Marshall Green. You were so charming, and now I hate you.
Okay, tell me about the last relationship.
All right, the last relationship is Trey and Jess. Last week we gave them a 2 out of 10. Jess keeps showing up at Trey's apartment to talk. They hook up and Jess brings over the drug she's still getting from someone other than her ex-boy. Who is her source now?
I don't know. Was her ex-boyfriend, and now he's in jail.
Yep, we see her sniffing some coke, and then later we see him taking a few hits as well. And this is just like, he's just spiraling, and it sucks. This girl is not good, but
their relationship seems to be taking
it's
off.
the exact type of thing that he's going to embrace because it is what he feels like he deserves.
Yeah.
Fuck. 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10.
Yep.
This episode was serious. I knew it was going to be. When an event like that happens, it can't not be a serious
When you
episode.
open the Coke, you know something bad's going to happen.
God, please, the Coke. Okay, so next week's episode is called The Showdown.
So what do you think happens, Scott?
Obviously, there's going to be a showdown between Ryan and Trey. There's going to be a showdown between Seth and Summer. There's going to be a showdown between Caleb and Julie. There's going to be a showdown between Kirsten and Sandy, possibly.
I wasn't talking about that. I'm talking about the Mentos and the Coke. What happens next week with the Mentos
Mentos is going
and
in
the
that Coke.
Is it?
It's going in the Coke.
Okay.
Something's blowing up next week.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. Something's blowing up.
Okay. Sounds like a good prediction.
I was almost going to make a really bold prediction, but I'm going to hold off on it. I'm going to hold off. Okay. That is all the time we have for you folks this week. If you like this podcast, you can check it and all the other shows we do over at our website, doofmedia.com. That's where you can find Kingslingers, our show on Stephen King and the Dark Tower, and the Doofcast, which last week celebrated its 100th episode.
And you guys watched the 100?
No, we didn't. That was just a joke.
It's a funny joke.
Thank you.
You're
I wrote
welcome.
it.
Well, don't tell people you wrote it. Let them think that it's natural. Scott.
What?
Let people think that you're actually funny on the fly and not like you have to write your own jokes like a stand-up comedian.
What kind of comedian would write their own jokes?
They don't. They hire people.
Next week, we're watching, or this week, I guess, we're watching a movie called Bahubali, The Beginning.
I'm really excited. I kind of want to watch it with you.
Okay. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Okay.
Elise, if they want to support us, where can they go to do that?
Patreon.com/doofmedia.
There you go.
Strike that, reverse it.
How much can they donate?
They can donate however much they want to donate.
I wonder if there is a cap on Patreon. I don't actually know.
Why don't you test it out, everyone?
Yeah.
See what the cap is.
We can always refund you that money.
Wink, wink. It just takes too long to ever process that you never really get it back.
Thank you so much for listening, everyone. And we hope you have a good week. And we will see you back here next week for The Showdown. Hopefully a little bit more of a lighthearted episode.
Guess you're going to have to see what happens to that Mentos and Coke next week, guys.